Hey guys, RagingRaptor here, and in today's video we have quite a lot of things we have to unpack. Yesterday a lot of leaks have happened and I want to discuss them all at once in this video. We're going to have a look at the Winter Marathon, which I predicted myself. We're going to have a look at apparently confirmed loot box tanks, a Christmas gift, and lastly a prediction about what is going to happen with Chinese New Year, as well as talking about some other leaks from less reliable sources, to say the least. Now let's jump in to the Winter Marathon. But before we do that, I do want to point out, take everything with a grain of salt. Wargaming can change stuff, and obviously this is not confirmed things. However, let's talk about the Winter Marathon tank, which, and again, yesterday a leak happened where they say the Object 274A is going to be the reward for the Winter Marathon. Now, it is logical that Wargaming is doing a Winter Marathon. This is something they did last year as well with the Renegade. And usually Wargaming is doing like 3 marathons per year. This year we had the Brusque, we had the CS52 Liss, and now we're going to have the Object 274A. So it does kind of make sense. I personally predicted that it will be the Progetto 71 because it would be great to tease a new tank line with a tank people can grind out. However, a lot of people also said, well, it's going to be in the loot boxes, which also makes sense. They did that last year with the Object 703 version 2 double barrel gun. Now, what leaks is a pretty reliable source when it comes to leaks. This is already a pretty good giveaway that this is going to be a marathon tank. However, we have a little bit more confirmation because I was in contact with the author of the Daily Bounce, which is Harkonnen, and he told me that he had insider information that yes, the Object 274A is going to be the reward for a Winter Marathon. So now we have basically 2 different sources claiming that with evidence, or at least evidence that they had sources, you know. We can't really confirm that at the end of the day. That's the topic of the end of the video. But it does look like we are going to be pretty dead set on that the Object 274A is going to be our marathon tank for winter. I look forward to it. It's also fine to see that I was wrong with the Progetto. Everybody makes mistakes, and it was a prediction after all. Predictions can never be always correct, you know. So I'm looking forward to it. However, I do want to point out I'm not that happy that the Object 274A is on tier 8. I would have liked seeing it on tier 9 because right now on tier 8 it just kind of feels like a dumbed down, or rather a castrated version of what it could be on tier 9 with very bad gun handling and very bad stats overall. Just because it has very good armor, you know. So I'm not really that happy with that situation. We'll see how it performs though, and if it is going to be a marathon tank, I am 100% certain that Wargaming is going to give it us for free as CCs, so we can test drive it and give you a little bit of input if it is actually worth it to play it or not. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon if you haven't already to join this growing community, which is absolutely flattering to me how quickly we grow. Thank you so much. Now, after covering the leaks about the Winter Marathon, let's have a look at something different. The Holiday Ops boxes. We know Wargaming wants to make them juicy for the people to generate more revenue. So there will most likely be new tanks in them like it was the last 2 years. And yes, a lot of people were correct. I wasn't. The Progetto 71 is going to be in those loot boxes, at least from the insider source of Harkonnen. And I'm pretty confident in that this most likely will be true. Why exactly though? This is a big thing. Not only is the Progetto 71 basically finished when it comes to balancing, obviously it's the new line. So they did that with the Object 703 version 2 as well. And this is very important, if you look at the CT2 releases, you will see that Wargaming finished up the tank. Why do I say finished up? They gave it a description, and as we discussed before with the Super Chaffee for the well-deserved reward of 2020, Wargaming usually, if they give a tank a description, a super test tank a description, it is ready to be shipped, ready to be played, ready to be sold. So yeah, that's another giveaway that the Progetto 71 is going to be our tank for the Christmas loot boxes. I do want to point out that the same thing happened to the Object 274A as well. It did got the description as well, which is another giveaway that Wargaming is readying up the tank for sale, meaning that it is very likely that again it will come in the next 1 month. There's also another thing which is important to point out. The Carro da Combattimento 45T is also getting a description, meaning that this tier 10 Italian medium tank is basically ready to be shipped as well. So for the people out there which really like Clan Wars and want to play the winter campaign, be ready, because it looks like the Carro da Compartimento 45 is going to be our new reward vehicle. Will be interesting. I will most definitely work for it or fight for it, so we'll see how that will work out. Obviously on those loot boxes we're not just going to have one new tank, right? Obviously not. The other new tank apparently is going to be the G-Saw 1008, the tier 8 premium tank destroyer of the British tech line, with a 4-shot autoloader, 1280 burst potential in just 6 seconds, but a horrendous reload time of 45 seconds. This tank apparently is once again, after the source of Harkonnen, going to be the other tank aside the Progetto in the Christmas loot boxes. What we're going to get as complementary tier 8s and lower tier stuff, we don't know yet. We could do some predictions, but we have no sources whatsoever which could confirm what is going to be in there. However, it was to be expected that the G-Saw or one of the newish tanks we had 3 months ago in the super test is going to be in those loot boxes. Even back in the days, some people said, yeah, G-Saw is going to be loot box tank. Yeah, Object 274A is going to be loot box tank. And they were pretty close, you know, especially with the G-Saw, because that is apparently correct. Again, obviously this is all assumptions, but I do trust in what Harkonnen is saying there. Again, we chatted about it and said, yeah, his source is very reliable, and yeah, in the end, if we are talking about this already now, it kind of, you know, makes some hype for that thing, I guess. So I'm a little bit of a bad boy right here, because I'm giving Wargaming free advertisement in that regard. But yeah, G-Saw 1008, I'll be looking forward to try this tank out, because it's very unique. It probably feels a little bit like a Waffenträger of E100 on tier 8, with the exception that it cannot clip same tiered opponents, except for some TDs. It has a clip potential of 1280, so that is very strong. It means that most tier 8 TDs are a 1 clip for you, and you have a very, 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 very long reload time. So yeah, we'll see how this tank is going to perform. It looks very interesting, so yeah, let's move on to the next tank, which is going to be our Christmas gift. And the Christmas gift will most likely be the Panzer-Selbstfahrerfette auf 1C, which is this tier 4 German tank destroyer, which is very cute, very small, and I'm looking forward to playing it. This tank also got a description added in update 1.11.1 in the common test server 2 iteration, which means it's ready to be shipped. And well, what expressed themselves, another insanely good sword when it comes to World of Tanks related things, said 95% of the time this tank is going to be gift for the tankers for New Year or Christmas 2020, and 5% likelihood it's going to be in the loot boxes. Again, take it with a pinch of salt, but chances are very high this is going to be our gift. It would make sense. It's a tier 4 tank, it's a low tier tank, so it's nothing super interesting for most people. Most people will say, yeah, it's just a free garage slot, but I think it's cute. It's a nice little tank, and it's something which is not tier 3, you know? So we'll see how this is going to pan out and how we are going to be able to get this tank, but I look forward to it. It's a nice little gift, and it's something German. Yay! Hurrah! Ich freue mich! And the last tank I personally want to talk about is the 122 TM, which is the Chinese tier 8 medium tank, which was recently added to the super test, well, recently 2 months ago. And you know, it now also has a description. I was also talking about Harkonnen about this tank, and he said, nope, not going to be in the Christmas loot boxes. And I was like, okay, then I pretty much know what is going to happen with this tank. Because as you probably know, last year there was Chinese New Year. And well, that was a big event. It was a decently big event, I would say. Wargaming did put a lot of resources in it. And now, get this, the Chinese server is not locked at 9.22 anymore. It's now updated to 1.10.1 like we are. So they also get this tank as well. So it would make sense that Wargaming is going to sell the 122 TM during Chinese New Year to just boost some, well, selling numbers in the Chinese community, which makes sense. It's a Chinese tank, so they obviously want to have some for their Chinese New Year. So, and it's good promotion for EU as well. It looks like an interesting tank. It also got a little bit nerfs, but it still looks okay, I would say. We'll see how this goes. This is pure prediction on my side. I might be wrong, I might be right. We'll see how that pans out. And lastly, I want to talk about 2 different leaks from the Armor Patrol. The first one is apparently one which an angry wargaming employee told them or wrote them about, where they said that the Aufklärungspanzer Panther is going to reappear in the loot boxes. The same goes with the Gisor and the Cobra. Look, this happened on the 9th of November, basically more than a month before those boxes will get released. And I just have to say, if we once again take the argument I said with Quickie Baby's claim that the Aufklärungspanzer Panther is going to be this year's reward for well-deserved reward. No, it's simply not going to happen. I just shook my head when I was reading that. And I just have to say, well, it looks like the Armor Patrol tried to clickbait some people. Yes, you might say, but did they guess the Gisor right? And again, that's the point. They guessed it right. It makes a lot of sense for me to also make claims 3 months before Christmas come to say, oh yeah, look, those 3 tanks which just recently got added to the super test are very likely to be Christmas tanks. I will probably be right in 30% of the cases, or at least 1 out of 3 tanks. And that's literally what happened here. And I just have to say, yeah, the problem is the Armor Patrol is not really that of a reputable source anymore, I would personally say. So yeah, I keep when I want to have my news, I will most likely just use what Express, what leaks, and well, Daily Bounce. And about this Aufklärungspanzer claim, that was bogus. And the same goes now to the black market claim. However, I do want to point out this black market claim or black market 2021 leak happened on What Express, so I'm a little bit more conservative about that. Point is, black market at the point where this leak came out, this was the 10th of November. Point is, that was still 4 months roughly till the black market would arrive. So there is so much things which still can change. Maybe this was just the first draft one of the insiders gave to What Express, and then it spread to the Armor Patrol, you know? But it's just like there is no point, in my opinion, to talk about a leak which is like for an event which Wargaming already showed twice that they are willing to change things on 4 months in advance, when they are able to change things several hours before the event starts if they don't want the leaks to happen or the leaks to spoil the event, you know. So yeah, I have to say the New Year's loot boxes claim from the angry employee was bogus, and the black market claim, if we say that everything else I said before you should take with a pinch of salt, take that with a cup of salt, because I highly doubt most of those things will be correct. But again, that's how leaks work. Some leaks are much more likely to happen, some leaks have solid evidence, while other leaks are maybe just here to make clickbait, you know? I hope I'm not the kind of clickbait leak. If so, fuck me. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Cheers, good luck on the battlefield, and I see you around.